Hey YouTube, it's YellowChops, aka Jeff Sarabanin. I just want to show you the process I go through when creating backing tracks for a live setting. First of all, the main purpose behind the backing tracks are not to replace a musician or any of the main instruments, but it's to make the band sound fuller. So a lot of times I have auxiliary tracks inside the backing tracks. So I have more like brass sounds, synth sounds, lead sounds, a percussion loop of some sort. Although I will have a piano and a bass track inside the backing track usually, but they're mainly used as placeholders than anything else. They also come in handy when your bass player can't show up for whatever reason, but it's always preferred to have a real musician. So when I first start off with learning the song or creating the backing track, I usually got to learn the song first. So it's just like learning the piano part to another song, but you got to learn a lot more. So I'll start off playing the track in iTunes or something just to play the song, and then I have my DAW open, Cubase or Ableton Live. In this case, I got Ableton Live open here. And I'll just have it side by side, and I'll just kind of go section by section through the whole song. So here's a So you get the idea. So basically I have that and I'll learn part by part and I'll just go through it, and then I'll have, in this case it's already recorded, but I usually start off recording in MIDI, and I'll have my sounds lined up, kind of what I want to do. But here you'll see everything's already kind of here. Here's my MIDI tracks right here. So if I play it here, you'll hear it. Now here you'll see I have like markers. I have markers lined up. It's like chorus, however you want to lay out the song. You can rearrange it obviously if you want to. But I have it all marked out so that it helps me when I'm actually, because you're kind of arranging the song as you're doing it. So it's kind of a lot of work because you got to record all the parts in. Before you might just be learning just the piano part, just the brass part. But this part you'll be actually creating everything. So in a sound like this where it's got a lot of instruments going on in there, like right here for example, I think if we go to the track, here's iTunes. So anyway, I played a little bit of the tracks you can hear. There's a lot of sounds in there. There's a piano sound in there. There's some brass sounds in there. There's a ton of synth sounds in there. There's like an orchestral hit when they do that that hit there. I think it's So you can hear there's a lot of instruments going on in there. So this one's probably a little bit, a lot more going on than maybe your other songs you're doing. You might just have like a percussion loop, some brass sounds in there, a little bit of some other stuff. But this one's kind of like a real synth-oriented song. So this is kind of, once, right here on the top part here I have audio. When you're first recording, obviously you're doing MIDI. After that's all done, you record it as audio. So in my case, I like to use a combination of hardware and software. For my hardware sense, about 90% of my songs I use are on the Motif, and then which works out great because the Motif has an optional FireWire card that you could put in that'll stream 16 channels of audio, I think up to 16 channels of audio to your computer through a FireWire cable. This makes it a lot easier because you don't have to deal with routing the analog cables. I think boards nowadays usually don't have more than 4 outputs. So the FireWire card gives you like up to 16 outputs that you can send to your DAW, and you could dump all your audio that way. So being that most of my sounds are from the motif anyway, it works out great. Like I think here I have like 9 tracks. I think I have like maybe 14 tracks total. I think I have 2 VSTs playing. I got like a couple sounds from 2 other boards, and then the other bulk of them, like the brass sounds, the lead sounds, the piano sounds, are coming from the motif. And 9 tracks. You know, if my song is 5 minutes long, and I need to record those 9 separate tracks and do a separate pass for each one, it's going to be like 45 minutes, right? Because you have to do a pass for each track, and if the song's 5 minutes long, it's going to take you at minimum that much time to record all the audio. So having that FireWire card is really, really awesome. You could just connect that one FireWire cable, you assign your outputs on your keyboard, and then you set it up in your DAW to record it, and then you could record all 9 tracks in one pass. So that's a really, really big, cool feature in the motif. I think the other ones have audio as well, but they're USB audio, so they tend to only have like 2 outputs, or I think that the Korg stuff may be a little bit more now, but it's not 16. It may be like 4 or 6 channels. So that's another big plus of the motif. So a lot of my sounds are here. Once that's done, I dump it as audio, and then like right here, you'll see the blue and the light blue is all the motif. These other 2 tracks here are from other hardware synths, and these 2 red ones up here, these 2 red tracks, are VSTs. So this is like a bass track, and this is like a drum loop in there. So once all the audio is printed, I then copy it from my main studio computer to my laptop. I open up on my laptop, make sure everything plays fine. Once I've verified everything's playing fine, I save it. And there's one more step I have to do. I'll actually show that in another video. That's assigning the MIDI mappings to Ableton Live, because I have some triggers that I have set up with a little controller that will send, hey, I want to play the ending or the chorus or whatever. But I do that later because I want my drummer to assign it, so he can, he's comfortable with what he has to trigger. And then after that's done, we're ready to use the track live. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be posting another video later on showing how I assign the controller with the triggers in Ableton Live. If you have any questions or any comments, please feel free to post them below. If you'd like to see any more videos going forward, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks.